I might have to get the leathers out. I don't know if I still fit in the leathers, mate. I might give it a go this year, I think. I don't know. I've still got them hanging upstairs somewhere. As long as I get the leathers and my airbag vest on. I'll have a word with James Fayers, shall I? Oops. Away we go then, and we're hooking up nicely. Oh, one of the outfits very slow away, the 101 machine. Lucky not to get hooked up the Walkley Hilditch outfit.
Yeah, looks like Lee and Max Eastor not quite getting away very well either. But yeah, I think Max Eastor is just having a look around, not sure what's going on.
And off to the left, yeah, at paddock there.
Yeah, shame there for Lee and Max Eastor. I think they had a few issues yesterday as well. If we have a look, there were a retirement in both races, so great shame for them to start the season. But that is the number 4 machine of Andy Peach and Josh Hope there. So Josh Hope, who's one of the champions from last year, is well out in front with Andy Peach, but coming under pressure now. Around the outside goes number 27 of Paul Kirby and Sam Astley. So they had a good day yesterday. Looking to look even better today. Yeah, no, I think they took both wins yesterday, didn't they, from memory? And you're right, looking to make that a hat-trick, and who can blame them at all? So it does make it a little bit easier with some of the British runners not here at the moment as we come across the line then. Let's call them over the line. It is Kirby and Astley who lead Peach and Hope, Gilbert and Winfield, Clark and Johnson, Fayers and Fox, Buchanan and Evans, Lambert and Jeevens, Smith and Smith, Holland and Stevens, Wakely and Hilditch. Sorry, got a yellow flag there as for Lee and Max Easton. No overtaking in the paddock hill bend with the stationary yellow flag.
Yeah, unfortunately that outfit's going to be stuck to the side. There shouldn't be too much of a problem. It's, unfortunately, we can't really get it behind the fence there at all, but such is life. So battle of the F1s and the F2s. The F2s at the moment being led by Clark and Johnson down there in 4th place. And the proper F1 outfits, the big 1000cc machines with the mid-engine, you can only really run them at Bemsee now because everybody else is F2 based, aren't they? Yeah,
I think the World Championship stopped using 1000s around about 2016, 17 maybe. Probably wrong on that, but it's around that time at least anyway. But across the line once more to complete the first of the flying laps, and it's Clark and Johnson have moved up ahead of Gilbert and Winfield. But of course, that is an on-track battle and not in class with Kieran Clark and Andrew Johnson using the Formula 2 machine. Keith, we're on lap number 3, and we're going to come up to a few back markers here, and it is Paul Kirby and Sam Astley who's leading the way ahead of Andy Peach and Josh Hope. So 27 leads the number 4, and then it's the first of the Formula 2s. That is well, they're both bright orange machines in 3rd and 4th there. Number 9, Kieran Clark, and number 11 of Simon Gilbert going in towards Surtees now, and there's an issue there for Simon Gilbert. He's just been taken now by Jim Fayers and Mark Fox, and Simon Gilbert out of the race and back into the paddock.
Well, it's good to see him coming back into the paddock and not actually a load of smoke coming out of the outfit, which is the fate that befell him last year at the Cadwell Revival Festival. He's parked it up straight away, unfortunately, which is a great shame. Poor old Simon Gilbert. His reliability in Simon Gilbert are not words using the same sentence at the end of the day. Tell you who is doing very well as well, moving up nicely, is the Wakely Hilditch outfit. They just made up 2 places on that last lap across the line, and I think they're going to get Smith and Smith down into Paddock Hill Bend there as well. So after that poor start, the experienced crew are rapidly making their way up, and I think they'd like to be in a position to challenge. More back markers now. Oh, class move round the outside there by Kirby and Astley. That was very smooth. That was smoother than an action man's private parts, that one there, Bradley. Really impressive stuff as they make their way around to McLaren's Surtees. I tell you what, though, Peach and Hope are pushing on. They're still well within touch. 0.8 of a second behind over the line last time. And we are just quarter of the way into the race, or a third of the way into the race now. Good thing with 12 times table, you get to change things very rapidly. Last time 0.8, still about 0.8 over the line there as well. Fayers and Fox move up to 3rd of the F1, so that'll be a good result for them. And I think Andy Peach and Josh Hope, do they count towards the points? I'm not sure they do.
I know Andy Peach is a British runner there, but I know Josh Hope, at least I don't think he's done it previously. He may be a British runner this year, but he was one of the club runner-ups last year, sorry.
Just thinking in terms of the club championship, of course, but obviously we've got a long way to go with the club championship, so won't get too het up about points and stuff like that at the moment. I do know Ross Buchanan and Adam Evans are planning to do the whole championship with us, as well as going to the Isle of Man, because they are now ACU club instructors, the first ones to ever become club instructors for Sidecars. Greg Lambert, Andy Jeevens. Greg Lambert is on the list to do it, didn't fill in the paperwork properly. But again, here's a man who runs a sidecar school. If you want to know about sidecar racing, then Greg Lambert can teach either drivers and passengers. And there's quite a few of those within the paddock who owe Greg Lambert a great deal of thanks. He's based up in Teesside, that's it. It's Teesside Autodrome they use up there. So he's literally had customers from all over the world, America, Canada, Australia, come and visit him to learn about sidecar racing, because there ain't many places you can learn about this sort of thing, and getting chucked in the deep end, it's a very deep end to throw yourself into, isn't it, Bradley?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Whether it's a driver or a passenger, it's certainly hard work, and even passengers look like they're just hanging on and moving around a bit, but it's a lot harder than what you may expect, and you can probably find out about that on your taxi lab. You
certainly can, mate. Yep, you're learning not just a bag of spuds hanging on there. Right, leaders over the line then to complete half race distance, separated again by a small gap. This time it's 0.6 of a second. Kirby and Astley have the fastest lap so far, but it's only 0.1 of a second quicker than Peach and Hope's best lap. Clark and Johnson leading F2 machine. They're in third place overall, ahead of Fayers and Fox by about a second or so. Main battle on the track really is that one for about 8th place. You've got Smith and Smith, Lambert and Jeevins and Thomas and Sixworth all arguing over the minor placings there. And obviously
got a hand in the air. Hand in the air for the first of the Formula 2. So that's Kieran Clark and Andrew Johnson. But Andrew has his hand in the air, and I suspect that will be a retirement for the leaders of the Formula 2s.
Trying to pull over to the pit exit there, and they're going to do that quite safely. All good. And off the track they come. Just to let you know, there's no communication allowed between the driver and the passenger. They can't have a Bluetooth unit, which is a bit of a surprise in this day and age, but technology and sidecars, maybe not the two things used in the same sentence, but you can use a variety of hand signals and taps on the backs and things like that to let your driver know what's happening, because obviously the passenger has the luxury of being able to look around. The sidecars don't have any sort of mirrors on them at all, so the driver is totally focused on the job, trying to tuck in behind the cockpit there, as we watch our leader having a look over his shoulder just to prove me wrong. So thank you, Tom Kirby, I appreciate that.
So Sam Astley in the chair with Paul Kirby.
Yeah, Paul Kirby, sorry, not Tom. And yeah, it was Paul having a look over his shoulder there. So clearly no communication. Maybe he's just making sure the passenger was still there, of course. We have seen that quite a few times. Of course, the passenger decided to part company with the chair. Over the line we go once again.
Got another retirement there, Keith, and we'll keep an eye on that one. It looks like it could well be either Holland and Stevens or Wakeley and Hilditch. They're very similarly coloured machines, so we'll catch them as they come across the line. But across the line now is the 101, so that is Wakeley and Hilditch across the line. Looks like Ben Holland and Wayne Stevens are retirement on this lap, I'm afraid. But we are at 2/3 race distance now, as Wes Petman comes across the line to complete lap number 6 for him there. Race leaders. All right, so we're looking around for the circuit here, and they're just heading into sector number 2 there, just getting past one of the back markers. But could well have been a change of position there, because we're looking for the red and white machine, and it is the number 4.
Yeah, I was literally just looking at the predictor lap there. I thought, hang on, that's number 4. It's just taking the lead. Can I get confirmation of that? And you've just given it to me, my friend. That must have been a big wobble somewhere there from Paul Kirby, because he's lost a lot of time. We've gone from being half a second up to being half a second down, so he's lost an easy second on that particular lap, unfortunately for him, and which is the difference between winning and losing. Got
a retirement here is the orange number 32. So a 32, that is Will and Andy Smith from Swaffham. So Will and Andy Smith out of the race, unfortunately. That was a top 5 in the Formula 1s for Will Smith there. But I'm afraid he's just retired here. I can see that they're just pushing it into the paddock and will be returning back to their awning. But another retirement, I'm afraid. But that will promote Burns and Fairhurst into the top 5 in the Formula 1s, Keith. Yeah, that's always a good result to have. Just checking a couple of other things there. No, it's all good. So it's interesting seeing the difference in experience levels, because this is club racing, and we've got literally world champions racing with us yesterday at least. British runners and things like that. Now Peach and Hope out in front, fastest lap of the race to them with 2 laps to left, 52.5 second lap they've turned in there. So Kirby and Astley with their a little bit of an issue there. I think maybe it was just a bit of a twitch. Maybe they had to go wide around a back mark or something like that, something we completely missed there. Not quite sure. Fayers and Fox have actually moved up to 3rd place overall, as well as being 3rd place on the track in the F1s, and I think they might be 2nd as far as the club championship go. Because they were runners up in the championship last year, weren't they, James Fayers and Mark Fox?
Mark being the passenger of the year, first time out as a passenger. They had a few wins last year as well. It's taken them a while to clamber onto the top step, but certainly made the most of it. It's settled in last year when they managed to do so. F2 still been leading by Ross Buchanan and Adam Evans from the Bull Inn, just down the road a little bit. So if you fancy a pint, they're the boys to go and see. They know how to pull a good beer down there. Just waiting for the runners and riders to come over to say hello to the last lap flag. Top three have already done so. And there goes the 101 machine of Wakely and Hilditch. After that poor start, they've come back very strongly indeed.
Well, you said we are on the last lap here. There's a back marker separate. Oh, got a passenger off there, unfortunately. So it looks like that's
somebody.
That's Sam Astley. So Paul Kirby having to retire out of this race, but not sure what happened there. But that is Sam Astley who's.
He gave the bump slide serious work out there, didn't he? That was
really
definitely being in the hot seat or being out of the hot seat and into another hot seat. I think he's hopefully no more stunned. There's a little bit of a tumble there. We can see Paul Kirby having pulled the outfit over there, where we did see him having a look over his shoulder to make sure his passenger's still there. And unfortunately, his passenger is no longer there at the moment. Now, everybody going very slowly there. That's a yellow flag. They've slowed right down for it because that has meant that Greg Lambert, the more experienced Greg Lambert, realises he's past the incident and pushes on. So, yeah, no, he's jogging his way back to the outfit there, mate. So absolutely nothing wrong with Sam Astley there.
No, I'm sure he's feeling a little bit dejected there, out of a second place, fighting for the win on that final lap. But around about half a mile to go and unfortunately out of the race. But that did promote then Jim Faze and Mark Fox up into second place ahead of the 101 outfit of Eddie Wakely and Anthony Hilditch. So that is your podium.
Assuming Andy Peach is a British runner, that'll give James another win. So there we go, James and Mark another win. So the Faze and Fox machine on the top step. Wakely and Hilditch will end up in third. Lambert and Jeebans, there we go, do move up into the... I thought that was a smart move there by Greg Lambert, because I'm pretty sure he did the overtake coming, but they really slowed right down because they were behind one of the slower outfits, which has slowed to an almost halt past the incident there.